Hi, thanks for joining. This is just a quick overview video to show you how to set up OneDrive for business on your desktop. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing you need to know is if you're running Windows 10, you already have OneDrive installed. You can tell because when you hit the Start button here, you have some tiles that show different applications there that are available to you. It looks a little bit different. That's how you have Windows 10. If you have Windows 7, follow the link that's in your email to download and install the client, and then you can go to this next step. So from Windows 10, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sign in to OneDrive. Right now we're not signed in. Go ahead and select this. Enter the email address that you received from Crystal that's going to have the onmicrosoft.com. Don't use your regular email, otherwise they look at everything else looks the same, except you will have Prytime Medical 42.imicrosoft.com. Enter in the password from the email that you received. Now it's going to show you where it's located. I'm going to pull this over here and let's open it up and take a look at it together real quick. So it's saying that it's going to show up as a quick link here on the left of your folder structure. So you can see OneDrive is already there. It'll flash in a moment when it adds the other one. You can go through this tutorial, just gives you an overview of how it works. It works just like you're working on the desktop, except those files are going to be remotely hosted. There are a couple of settings that we need to do to make sure. So you have some that are online only. Those files are not going to be actually transferred to your desktop, but once you open them, you are able to get to them on your desktop and they'll be available. It does sync across the network, so it's very quick, but it will tell you if you're opening a file that's already opened, and will give you the option to save it as a new file. Also, you can say keep always on this device for certain files that you access daily and you want to have quicker access to them. But in general, your network is pretty swift. You most often will see files that you're going to access infrequently and just have them as online only. So let's go ahead and close out of this. It's going to refresh your screen. That's normal because it's having OneDrive folder. So this OneDrive that shows up here is a personal OneDrive. So if you had a Microsoft email account for your personal use and you use that to sign in, it would sync your personal documents, your pictures from home, things like that to this folder. The OneDrive Prytime Medical is for your office documents. So anything you save there is going to be for the office. Not quite done yet because we haven't synced any folders. Don't seem to have anything yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here, right click, which will bring up this context menu, go to settings, and you'll be able to add additional, but let's go here first. Files on demand, ensure that this is checked. Otherwise, you're going to download all of the files that are there down to your computer and it's going to cause a problem. If you do that, just go in here, check it and close it. Just remember this part is very important. It is by default, but some accounts sometimes tend to not show up. So if I look here, I have no files, no folders in there. Currently, these are just your OneDrive Prytime Medical. These are going to be your personal. So you can set this up so that your documents folder is syncing to that particular folder automatically. So you have a backup of your documents. So the first thing I do is I right click on the documents, my documents folder, go to properties. And we're going to go to location tab. And here it goes to my documents. Let's find this target that we want to move it to. let's highlight this, right click, and copy that so that it goes to your Prytime medical folder. Paste. Apply. It's going to ask you if it should move all of your documents. Say yes, they'll still be your documents folder. It will look just like you had it previously. It's just now going to back them up to the OneDrive solution and say okay. See, my documents folder is still here. If I had any documents, it would have just moved this location and all of the contents of this folder to the Prytime Medical. So in theory, once you're set up, you'd be able to click documents for this folder and they should look the same. So anything that you have in your documents folder is moved over here. Now, if you don't work out of the documents folder and you have a folder on your desktop or a folder somewhere on, let's say, your C drive, use that folder and sync it to this one. Click, do the same thing, go properties location, and add that. Now we're ready to add our SharePoint files to the OneDrive. So we're going to open up the link that is in your email. And in this case, it's going to be prytimemedical42.sharepoint.com. And it's going to have you log in. Again, remember, use the one that's in your email that has the Prytime Medical 42 just for the time being. It'll eventually convert to be your internal account, but for this transition period, it is going to it's going to require this particular email account that has the onmicrosoft.com portion. Enter the password again from the email. Go ahead and say yes if you like. Stay logged in. Now I see several folders. If you're sales and marketing, you may not see R&D, or if you're R&D, you may not see archive or NDF. So there's certain folders that are going to be available. That's just to keep permissions easily available and to for us to set up those accounts. So anything that is saved in there is going to be saved with your entire team. So everybody will have access to it that is in that team. In order to get them to your desktop, though, you're going to have to go and click on the folder that you see, open up in a new window. Currently, there's nothing here while I'm making this video. Those will be transferred later, but you should see other files and folders that you're familiar with. And this button right here, go ahead and hit sync. So it's going to get ready to sync. It's asking you, you can say always open these types associated with OneDrive. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to open the sales and marketing folder in my OneDrive. It isn't there yet, but it will be. Now you see a new quick link on the side that says Prytime Medical. And it has little buildings. This is your access to that online portal via your desktop. So it has a cloud, and it's not going to sync the files unless you open them up and or decide to save a particular folder to your desktop. Once that's done, you should have at least 2 views. You may not have the personal OneDrive. Maybe you don't have that set up. I had it set up at one time, disconnected it, so it's still here, but it's empty, not in use. There's also this OneDrive Prytime Medical. These are for documents you're working on for the organization so that they're synced offline as well as online on your desktop and off somewhere else. But nobody else has access to see these particular files. So they're just going to be your My Documents folder that you're working from. You don't have to use that for anything else. This isn't going to show up to the rest of the organization. If you save things here, other people will not be able to view them. You can right click on them and share them if you choose, but it'd be easier to save them to the appropriate folder here on the OneDrive SharePoint site. This is where everybody has access to the same information. This becomes your new shared drive. Anything you save here is going to be available to everybody that has access to this particular folder. And we'll match the contents that's online. If you have other folders you want to add, you just simply go into each one of them, the sync button, it will add it automatically. And close that, it will already be added to your folder. And you'll be able to access them right away. If you have any other questions, please feel free to direct them to Crystal. And if she needs to redirect them to me, that'll be fine. If you have trouble setting this up and or it doesn't look proper or it won't sync your files or do what you're needing it to do, you can reach out to helpdesk@rx-tech.com as well, and we will have people available for troubleshooting to be able to see what's going on. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. I'm pelliot@rx-tech.com. And let me just put this up here for you. helpdesk@rx-tech.com or pelliot@rx-tech.com. So if you can't get your questions answered through Crystal or you're having a technical support issue, go to help desk. If you just have a general question about folder structure of that nature, then include Crystal as well on that email and go ahead and fire it over to me and we'll work through it and help you get set up. I look forward to this transition and we will see you all on Monday, ready to roll.